Hey everyone, it's Melissa. Today's video is actually a tag. I saw two of my friends do it, Monica and Susan, who also known as Little Poet. Susan kind of got it going again, and she said she had seen Erin Busby do it back in I think 2015, and so she kind of updated it some. So it just sounded good. Both women are my age. Of course, I will link everybody's channel, and I love all three of those women dearly. And they gave such good answers. They're my age. I could identify with their answers. I thought back on what my answers would be. I thought back on memories that they brought up, and I just really liked it a lot, so I thought I would do it. I was going to do a video today called "It's Okay to Ask for a Hug," and so I think I'll do that one next time. That's another non-beauty one, but it's one that I've been thinking about doing for a while, so I'll do that next. But this one, I really wanted to do. I loved their answers, and it just made me feel in a thoughtful mood, so I wanted to do it. So I'll go ahead and get started. So I hope it'll bring back some good memories for you too. And be sure and go watch these incredible women. They have wonderful YouTube channels. They're amazing women, and I'm so glad that I know them. The grown-ass woman tag number one. What would you tell your 20-year-old self? I would go back further than that to my teen years, and I've answered this question before, and the answer has not changed. I would tell my teenage self, you don't have to have a boyfriend to be complete. I had a boyfriend when I was 14. He was 17, and then when he turned 18, he broke up with me and broke my heart. I suspect his parents probably told him, you're 18, she's 14, you need to break up with her. And so, of course, I didn't understand that at the time. So I was a freshman in high school, and I spent the next years wanting a boyfriend desperately, so desperately that I chased all the boys off. I'm sure I was just so needy and desperate. I'm sure I had a lot of friends, and I had a lot of boys that were friends, but they would call me to ask me if my girlfriends liked them. And then when I got another boyfriend when I was 16, I ran off with him and got married at 17. I was just so desperate to have a boy love me, just so desperate for it. And it's so funny because even at night, occasionally I will dream of being back in that time, and I can feel that feeling again of wanting to have a boyfriend so much. Like I said, I had friends. I had lots of friends, and I felt like I was well liked and everything. And the boys liked me, but nobody loved me. That's what I wanted, was somebody to love me. So I think I would tell my teenage self, you don't have to have a boyfriend to be happy or to feel love, to love yourself or to feel complete. Favorite band from the 70s or 80s? I looked up, of course you go blank and all this, so I looked up bands from the 70s to see how I felt about them. Not a band, but I loved Cat Stevens. Loved him. Okay, Led Zeppelin, of course. Aerosmith, do not like Aerosmith. The Who, loved The Who. Eagles, okay. Loved Black Sabbath. Did not like the Rolling Stones. Did not like Fleetwood Mac. I don't know why I didn't like Fleetwood Mac, but I didn't like Queen either. Loved Leonard Skinner pre the death of Ronnie Van Zant. I liked him then, didn't like him after that. The Allman Brothers, loved the Allman Brothers. Yes, didn't like Kiss. ZZ Top, didn't like them. Liked Blue Oyster Cult. Doobie Brothers, just so many during that time. Chicago, liked them. Loved Journey. Crosby, Still, Nash and Young. Oh my gosh, yes. Wow. And then I really got into Neil Young too, and bought a lot of his albums during that time. Liked Neil Young. I bought all of Cat Stevens albums. I liked Elton John before pre-1975. 1975 to me, he got a little disco, but I liked him when he did like Bad Man Across the Water, Tiny Dancer, that era. I liked that. I liked it then. Blondie, I loved Blondie and Heart. I listened to a lot of Blondie and Heart during that time. ELO, I did like them a whole lot. I loved Santana. They were so good. So anyway, that's a whole budget. As for one, I gave you a gazillion million. So anyway, those will kind of maybe bring back some memories of groups during that time. Wings, of course, you know, I lived Paul McCartney. What makes you angry? Injustice, being something that's unfair, cruelty, bullying. That stuff like that really bothers me a whole lot. Cruel people bother me a lot. Okay, number 5. What truly makes you happy? What makes me happy? Well, watching my grandkids and my kids and my grandkids. I'm blessed to live in the same town with them and get to see them often, and just little heartfelt moments that wouldn't mean anything to anybody else get you. And you know, is that those of you that are grandparents, parents and grandparents, know what I mean. Seeing a turn of the head that reminds you, I mean, there's one granddaughter I have, when I look at her, I can remember looking in the mirror at her age, and just that looked like me a whole lot, you know. And another granddaughter was singing in a chorus thing the other night that we went to see, and just her bone structure, because I've always, you know, kind of had a wide face and a wide jaw, and her bone structure looked similar to mine standing up there, and the way she turned her head, it reminded me of myself at 15, you know. So just things like that. Just one of my little grandsons looking up at me, or maybe holding my hand or something. Just things like that, and y'all know what I mean. You just know exactly what I mean. Have you had a facelift, Botox, fillers, and what is your honest opinion of it all? I so hesitate to answer this because I don't want to offend anyone. No, I haven't, and I will not. And I don't think it's wrong. It's just not right for me, but not in the way that you think. I just don't know that it would ever be good for me. I can't have a facelift because, you know, I've got this serious disease with Crohn's. In the past, people were lucky to live to be my age. I want to live to be older. I'm afraid they're going to find out that Botox is bad for you, or that fillers are bad for you. I'm afraid I can't have a facelift because I can't be put to sleep. I have to be put to sleep to have parts of my intestines taken out, so I don't want to be put to sleep extra. But I don't want to offend anyone by saying, you know, I'm not trying to be like, well, I never do that. You know, I'm not trying to be like that. It's just not right for me because of my health. So surely that won't offend anyone. I hope not. Mine is for my health. So I just don't even consider it, you know. And yes, you know, my face, as you get older, your face starts squaring out. And I have noticed that with mine. You know, it used to be up here, and I used to have more of a pointed chin and kind of more sculpture through here. Well, through age, it starts squaring out. And, you know, you start noticing these things that happen. There's so many times since I was 19 that I was afraid I was going to die, that I guess just, I don't want to take any chances. I'll just put it like that. But please don't be offended. I hold no judgment against anyone that has a million facelifts or anything done. It's just, I'm scared too. That's the main thing. I'm just scared too. Fill in the blank. I wish I was more, well, 2 things. I wish I was more confident. I've always said I had the confidence of a snail. And I wish I was more organized. I can't ever get my crap together. I do a lot, but it's just all kind of haphazard and, you know, flighty. I'm kind of flighty and klutzy and haphazard, and I wish I wasn't that way. I've always wondered if, because I know a lot of youngest children in the family are, and I kind of have become interested in studying your place in the family and how it affects your personality. So I've noticed that some of my older people that I know that are firstborn are so organized and everything, and then sometimes the babies of the family, like myself, are just kind of like, what do I do next, you know? So I wish I was more that way, and I do wish I had more confidence, but I'm probably a little old to be developing it. So your all-time can't live without beauty product. There are three. There are three. Four. My Retin-A, my hydroquinone, my vitamin C serum, and my Obagi Exfoderm. Those four things. And then, of course, sunscreen. But those four things are the things that I depend on. And going back to the facelift, I'm not opposed to... I've been interested in thinking about starting to do some derma rolling on my forehead lines and on my lines that are getting around my mouth and stuff. I will do that if, you know, it's just the invasive stuff. I'm a little afraid of it, but I will do surface things, and I do use, you know, I use some strong products. So I guess because of my health, I have a limit to how far I'll go. What are 3 words you live by? Oh, Lord above. Probably acceptance. I try to accept other people the way they are, even if they are different from me or disagree with me. Love, of course. You know, I think there's probably too little love in this world, especially with all the social media and stuff. And probably service. And I think President Kennedy said, too much is given, much is required. And I think that's true. I just feel so blessed. I've been given so much in my life, and it's just always, something I always try to teach my children, that we give our material things, we give financially, we give our service to others because we have been given so much. So I've always tried to live by that too. I get busy and I don't always do that, but I do try to live that way too. So those are my 3 things. Okay, that is it. Thank you, Monica and Susan and Erin Busby, for doing this tag. I really enjoyed your answers, and I enjoyed thinking about this. It's just a nice way. This is Sunday. It's a nice way to think about the upcoming week and looking back, and then the questions of what you live by, you know, of trying to look ahead into the things that are important, you know, during the coming week, I guess. So I appreciate it. Talk to you all soon in a couple of days. And I do want to do the other one about being hugged. I'll explain it when I do it. Love you all. Take care and stay safe. And thanks again. Bye-bye.